all with the most heartfelt feelings, love, respect, and longing.
Maşallah. Malatya bugün
Mashallah,
yine her zamanki
Malatya, as
gibi
always,
bir
is
başka güzel.
beautiful.
Bir yılı aşkın hasretin ardından
After
Battal
almost a
Gazi,
year's
Yeşil
separation,
Yurdu,
we have made our
Akşadağ,
way to Batagazi,
Arap Girit,
Yeşil Yurt,
Arguvan'a,
Akşada, Arap Girit,
Darendi,
Erguda,
Doğanşehir'i
Darande,
selamlıyorum.
and Doğanşehir
Aynı şekilde
districts of
Doğan
Malatya,
Yolu,
and I would like to send my
Hekimanı,
greetings.
Kale'yi,
Doğan Yol, Hekimal,
Kulunca,
Kale,
Pütürge'yi,
Kuluncak, Pütürge,
Yazıhan'ı selamlıyorum.
Yazıhan. I would like to send my greetings to each and every district of
Malatya'nın
Malatya
tüm
province.
ilçelerindeki,
In every
mahallelerindeki,
district of Malatya, in
hanelerindeki
every
kardeşlerimi
neighborhood of
yürekten
Malatya,
selamlıyorum.
I would like to
Rabbime şahsıma
send my
sizlerle bir
greetings
kez daha buluşmayı nasip
to
ettiği
all
için
who live in those
hamdü
districts,
senalar
all the
ediyorum.
households, and I am grateful to God
Güz
for He
gelince
has blessed me
bağlar
once
döker
again with
gazeli.
being with you.
Çok hasretlik çektim
Come the day,
gurbet gezeli.
our
Yedi
hearts
iklim, dört
will be
köşeyi
overjoyed.
dolaştım.
I traveled across
Bulamadım
all corners
Malatya'dan güzeli.
during all rough times and under
Evet.
all weather
Bir güz
conditions,
günü
but
bir
nothing
kez
has
daha
been more beautiful
güzel
than
Malatya'dayız.
Malatya to me. So once again,
Malatya'nın
we are in
güzellikleri
Malatya,
saymakla bitmez.
a beautiful city,
Burada
a
sadece
city of fall
tabiat
season.
canlanmakla,
Of course,
ağaçlar
we can
meyve vermekle kalmıyor.
not enumerate the beauties of
Tarihimizle,
Malatya.
kültürümüzle,
With our history, our
medeniyetimizle
culture, our
çiçek açıyor.
civilization, we blossom.
Malatya,
And we
bundan
know that Malatya,
1365 yıl önce İslam
about
ordularının Peygamber Efendimiz
1365
Aleyhisselatü
years
Vesselam
ago, the
dünya
armies of
gözüyle gören o kutlu
army,
insanların
the armies of Islam
çiçeklendirdiği
made their way here.
Malatya,
Our Prophet, peace be
Battal
upon him,
Gazilerin
also
tarih yazdığı
did so
şehir.
to blossom
Malatya,
the city. And
Alparslan'ın
Malatya is the city
gazilerine
where
yoldaş
Battal
olan,
Gazi made history.
atlarına su,
And
gönüllerine
Malatya
huzur
accompanied
veren şehir.
Alparslan
Malatya,
and gave them
Selçuklu'nun mührünü
peace
taşıyan,
and hope
danışmentlere
to
başkent
their
olan
hearts.
Yavuz Sultan
It served
Selim'le
as the capital
birlik olan şehir.
of the great
Malatya,
empire,
İbn
and it
Arabi'lere,
interlocked with
Sadreddin Konevi'lere,
Yavuz Sultan
adeta
Selim,
alevden bir gönül
Alevis,
irmağı
and
gibi
many others.
coğrafyamızı
Indeed,
irfanla sulayan nice
irrigated
alimlere kucak
every
açan
inch of
şehir.
our land
Malatya,
with science,
ülkemize
knowledge,
çağ
and
atlatan
enthusiasm, and it
merhum Turgut
embraced
Özal'ı
many.
yetiştiren
It
şehir.
is the city which
Biz de
brought
sizlerle gurur
Turgut
duyuyoruz.
Özal,
İşte
the
bu
late
Malatya,
Turgut Özal of our
yol
country,
arkadaşı olursa
up.
ancak
We are also
ülkesine
proud of
ve
you.
milletine
And if we have
hayırlı
fellow
insanlar
travelers
oluruz.
on our path, of
Bu
course,
güzel şehrin
this city
güzel
will be
insanlarını
auspicious
yürekten
for the
selamlıyorum.
country overall. And I
Malatya'nın
would like
yiğit
to
insanları,
wholeheartedly greet the
tarih
people of
boyunca hep
this
olduğu
beautiful
gibi, bugün de
country
ülkemizin her
and city.
mücadelesinde
And the people of
ilk
Malatya
safta
have
yer alıyor.
always taken the front
AK
lines
Parti'nin
in every
19
struggle that our
yıllık
nation
geçmişinde
has taken on.
Malatya yine
Over the past
daima
19 years
en önde
of AK
olmuştur.
Party's history,
Bu
Malatya
vesileyle
has always
2019
stood in
seçimlerinde
the foreground. And in
%68,5
the local
oranıyla
elections,
bize
the
olan
most
desteğini
recent local
yenileyen
elections,
Malatya'ya
Malatya
şahsım,
supported us with
partim,
69% of the
milletim adına
votes, and I
şükranlarımı
would like to
sunuyorum.
extend my gratitudes to Malatya and to the people of Malatya, personally on
Geçtiğimiz
behalf of
Ocak
my
ayında
party and as well,
Malatya
of
ve
course, our
Elazığ'da
country.
yaşanan deprem
Last year,
felaketi
an
sebebiyle
earthquake unfortunately
daha
took place in
geçmiş
Malatya
olsun diyorum.
and Elazığ, and I once again
Depremin hemen
wish
ardından
for a
yaraları
quick
sarmak
recovery
için
to all.
harekete geçtik.
Right after the
Yapılan
earthquake, we
tespitlerin
acted to
Malatya'da
address the wounds of the earthquake,
1555
and
tanesi ahırlı köy evi olmak
we have
üzere
seen that
toplam
almost 1,500
5024
structures
konut inşa etmek için çalışmalara başladı.
will be should
Pötürge'de
be
208,
constructed, and in
Kale'de
Peturge
238 konut olmak üzere
some 200,
446
and in
konutu
other districts
vatandaşlarımıza
about
teslim ediyoruz.
280 dwelling houses have almost been constructed, and we will be handing those over to our citizens, and all the remaining construction will be complete soon. And by the anniversary of the earthquake, for us to commemorate, we will have constructed all the housing projects. In Elazığ also almost 1,500 houses and totally 18,000 houses will be constructed, and almost 2,500 of them, those dwelling houses, will be handed over to our people. And before long, we will be visiting Elazığ province to hand over the keys of all those homes to our people. So in a short period of time, almost 9 months, during those past 9 months, we have managed to construct all those buildings, and I would like to thank and congratulate all the subcontracting and contracting companies for having achieved so. And one of the symbol cities of our great country is, of course, Malatya. And this has been so in the elections as well. And now we are preparing ourselves to achieve more in 2023, and we will keep an eye on Malatya, of course. We will side with Malatya with its efforts of development, and also during rough times of natural disasters, and we will continue to stand with the people of Malatya. And the 7th Ordinary Congress of PARTİ is now being held in Malatya province, and I believe that it stands as a critical turning point, and Malatya will serve as the driving engine of this new era to come, I believe. From its inception on, there have been many brothers and sisters who assumed active roles in our party, and I would like to extend my gratitude to each and every one of them personally and on behalf of my nation. Of course, there has been some who passed away, and I pray for the mercy of God on their souls. And there was many other colleagues who served in our district congresses, and now we have many brothers and sisters who will be assuming and fulfilling tasks during our Ordinary Congress. And I would like to thank once again, and I also would like to thank to each and every one of you for embracing us with great enthusiasm and overjoy.
Efendim. Dur bakalım konuşmayı bitirelim ondan sonra.
Yes, let me first finish my speech. My dear brothers and sisters, the fight for democracy and development of Turkey has stretched over a long period and has been challenging. There has been populism in spite of the people. And on the other hand, there were some who expressed that they stood with their people but exploited the feelings of the people, and a Jacobin mentality that wanted the country to be taken under. But on the other hand, there were some who had a mentality that ignored our values. There were some who waged war against the values of our people, sometimes through military coups, plots, and sometimes through terror acts, and sometimes they took support from external forces. In many parts of the country and in the region and as well the world, some similar struggles unfolded, and those who are not familiar with their own culture, history, and values indeed led to disasters, unprecedented disasters. Recently, the person who is the head of state in France, he has always been fixated on Erdoğan day and night, and wherever he goes, he mentions my name. And I said so during my Congress speech yesterday in Gaziantep, I believe he needs to be subject to a mental checkup. And there is another one, and from Europe, and he is again engaged in some stuff about us. You should first know your place. Know your place. For one thing, have you ever thought with whom you are marching? You should know your place. We do not have fascism in our book. You have it so in your books. Fascism was seen in Germany. We experienced that in Germany, in Italy. We also witnessed Nazism in those countries, and you marched with them, but we do not have fascism or Nazism in our books. We only have social justice written in our books, and this is how we are pursuing our journey. And if needs be, we break our bread with the poor and the oppressed. And now in Syria, there are many people oppressed and persecuted, all those poor people, all those aggrieved, and who runs for their help? We do give them a helping hand. Turkey does. And so far, we know that we have been hosting almost 4 million refugees, and we give them hostage, and we accommodate them in our land. And we do the same in Syria. Do we not? Can you not see those? You have eyes, but you do not see. You have ears, but you do not hear. You have a tongue, but it does not speak the truth and fairness. Those who are similar to you are also present in our own country. We are also proud of you, dear young people. And you will be the ones who will teach them a lesson, hopefully in 2023 and in 2024. And I believe that you will give them the best lesson. Millions of innocent people are suffering, and some are even leading the way and causing all those afflictions and displacement of all people from the region, millions of people, and suffering of all. And Turkey is the country that hosts the highest number of asylum seekers across the world. There's no other country similar to us. And considering the ratio to our GDP, we ranked in number 1 as the country which provides the highest amount in terms of humanitarian aid. And there's no other similar example. We have a fraternity and alliance with millions of people over thousands of years, and we are proud and honored to embrace those colleagues, those friends, those people, our brothers and sisters. And those people now are putting us to the target just because we have revealed their own true faces and exposed them. But they shall do so because we will not stop but continue to march on our path. In Syria, we stood with all 4 million refugees, and now we are constructing brick houses in Syria, and we are now repatriating our Syrian brothers and sisters to Idlib and have them reside in those brick houses we constructed. They, for example, made some promises. Some of the parties, Germany, made a pledge of hundreds of thousands of euros, and they made a pledge for billions of euros. They said that we will give it today, give it away today or the other day, but they have not done so. You cannot believe in what they say, their words, but we said we will take the matter to our own hands and construct all those houses, brick houses, on our own. And I would like to thank to all the NGOs who contributed to the completion and the fruition of such projects. While we were expecting some support from the West, we know that there are some who are engaged in efforts to form a terror corridor alongside our borders. And to the east of Euphrates, there are some who prepare to establish a terror state. And in Libya, just because we stand with the legitimate government of Libya, we were expecting support, but while we were expecting support, some tried to isolate us and drive us away from the region. But no, we have been in Libya upon the invitation of our legitimate brothers and sisters and the legitimate administration of Libya. And this goes the same for Syria. We are there for our brothers and sisters. We do not need to expect for a call or an invitation by the tyrant Assad. We are there only upon the calls of our people, our brothers and sisters oppressed in Syria. My brothers and sisters in the Eastern Mediterranean, there are certain actions that are obviously unfair and unequitable, but we were exposed to certain threats and claims that almost equal to threats, and we were also blamed just because we stand with our Azerbaijani brothers and sisters. Now I hear some Americans give a call to my brother Ilham Aliyev and tell him, we know with whom you stand. They say you are standing with Erdoğan. You have Turkey on your side. Yes, that is true, and we will do also whatever it takes. And now they are threatening Azerbaijan for bringing on sanctions. Do whatever you have to do. If you have some sanctions to impose, do with it. And we have taken our steps. We have also purchased F-35s, but you have not provided us with the F-35s. You threatened us with certain sanctions. You wanted us to send S-400s back to Russia, but we are not a tribal country. We are Turkey. Years ago, I was just serving as the Prime Minister of the country, and we asked for unmanned aerial vehicles, not armed unmanned aerial vehicles, but they also did not supply us with those and did stole us. And then finally, they said we might give you some unmanned aerial vehicles for you to test them for 2 months or so. But what has that done to us? Now we are manufacturing our own drones, our own unmanned aerial vehicles, and even our armed unmanned aerial vehicles, let alone only aerial vehicles. So we are now able to manufacture our own weaponed and non-weaponed aerial vehicles. And I would like to thank the contracting companies who have managed to produce so. And we are now targeted also just because we speak the truth about racism escalating in Europe. We in the past also stood with the oppressed, and we we were also attacked the same in the past when we stood with all the oppressed from all corners of the world. And there are some who speak about the freedom of speech and democracy, and of course they were not happy with our stance back in time, and we had no concern or whatsoever to please them anyways. Our only purpose, our only goal was to fulfill our tasks, perform our duties as desired. And in all the cross-border operations or our fight against terrorism, we have not been engaged in any wrongdoing which have made our nation and our country feel ashamed, and we shall never do so, because we stand as the guarantor, the protector of the oppressed, and we have won the hearts of many people across the world, as we are standing with them, and we will do also whatever it takes, and we will continue to assume roles and responsibility after this point. And of course, it is only possible if we grow bigger, thrive and develop. In our fight of democracy and development, of course, we have covered a lot of mileage, and this is a source of happiness and reliability in the eyes of many people all around the world and in our country. From energy to transportation, from industry to agriculture to economy, we have been running all of our activities with this understanding and with that steadfastness and tenacity. There are some who will do whatever they can in their power to strangle, if you will, our country and make us suffocate. But their actions, of course, will be responded for, and no matter what they do, they will not be able to stop our holy march. As the sun of righteousness and fairness rises, the fire of the tyrants will fade away, and all the oppressors will be drained of their power. Turkey's regional and global struggle befits its history and its civilization. And when we are engaged in all those efforts, of course, we will not make any concessions in terms of our development and the growth of our country. Every inch of our homeland deserves what we do, and we will be adorning every inch of our country with many more investments, projects and works of art, 5-10 times more in number than what was done in the past. And Malatya also has taken its share in those investments and projects. Let me share some figures with you. What is the total figure of investment we have allocated for Malatya? It is 23 billion liras. With all those investments, of course, we constructed more than 5,000 classrooms, and we have established 238 ICT laboratories. Totally, we have supplied around 10,000 materials to our schools. We also founded the second public university, Turgut Özal University, for Malatya. When it comes to the higher education students, we have built dorm buildings of more than 6,000 capacity. And we as well constructed a stadium and also 239 individual sports complexes across the city. And we had a game played today. And you did beat the other team,
Millet bahçemizin uygulama
I guess.
çalışmaları
Okay,
sürüyor.
so we are also
Doğanşehir
exhibiting efforts
Küçük
to
Millet
construct
Bahçemizin ise projesi bitti.
a
Yakında
people's garden,
ihalesi yapılacak.
and we will be
Havalimanı yolu
holding the
üzerindeki
tender process
Özal
for
Mahallesi'nin
two
yarım asırdır
other
süren
national
mülkiyet
gardens
sorunu
to be built,
Çevre ve Şehircilik
and the
Bakanlığımızın
property
çalışmasıyla
or title
sona
deed
erdi.
issues in different
İhtilaflı
districts of the
alanları devralan
city have now
Yeşilyurt
been
Belediye'miz,
tackled.
Özal
Yeşilyurt
Mahallesi'nin yanı sıra
municipality has
Bindal
addressed the
ve
areas of dispute,
Topsuyu
but
mahallelerini
Bindal and
parsel
Topsuit
meselelerini de
neighborhoods
çözüme kavuşturacak.
zoning and parceling
Eski hastanenin
problems will
yeri
also be
Adalet
tackled.
Sarayı inşası
And
için
the
bakanlığımıza
plot of the
devredildi.
old hospital has
Sosyal
now been
yardımlarda
transferred over to our
Malatyalı ihtiyaç
ministry
sahibi
for the
vatandaşlarımıza
construction of a
toplam
public hall.
yaklaşık
And
3
for
katrilyon
our
lira
citizens,
tutarında
we have
kaynak
almost
aktardı.
allocated
Sağlıkta
3 billion
800
liras
yataklı
of
Malatya Şehir
financial
Hastanesi'nde
assistance.
içinde olduğu
And
11
Malatya City
hastaneden
Hospital,
oluşan 56 sağlık
with a capacity of
tesisini
800 beds,
ilimize
has
kazandı.
been constructed. We
Toplamda
also constructed
400
11
yataklı
more
Battal
hospitals.
Gazi ve
Battal,
Doğanşehir devlet
Gazi, and
hastaneleriyle birlikte
Doğanşehir
14
state
sağlık
public
tesisimizin
hospitals
inşası
also
sürüyor.
totally have a capacity of
Toplu konutta
400 beds, and we continue
Malatya'da
to construct more. When it comes to mass
17.480
housing
konut projesini
projects,
hayata
we
geçirdik.
have constructed
Ulaştırmada
many
36
many
kilometreden devraldığımız dikkat edin.
houses and
Malatya'daki
buildings,
bölünmüş yol
and the
uzunluğu
divided road
toplamda
length in Malatya
437
is
kilometreye
now
çıkardı.
437 kilometers in length.
Proje kapsamında
Within
25
the scope of
adet
the
köprünün de
project,
bulunduğu
25
Malatya çevre yolunun
bridges
yapımı sürüyor.
will be
İnşallah
constructed,
2022'de tamamlıyoruz. Kömürhan Köprüsü,
and
Tüneli
Kömürhan Bridge,
ve bağlantı
Kömürhan
yolları
Tunnel, and the
projemizde
crossroads
sona
or
geldi.
connection roads
Buradan müjdeni verelim.
construction project has
15
almost been
Aralık'ta
finalized. Let me
Kömürhan
give you some
projesinin
good
tünelini,
news. On
köprüsünü
December
ve
15,
bağlantı
Kömüra
yolunu
project,
trafiğe
tunnel,
açıyoruz.
bridge, and crossroads, connection roads
Tohma
will be open
Köprüsü'nü
for
de yıl
service.
sonuna
When it
kadar
comes to
inşallah
Touma Bridge, by the end of the year, hopefully, we will
Malatya
have
Organize Sanayi Bölgesi'ne
completed it. When it comes
Evet,
to
yazlık
Malatya Organized
tesisat hattını
Industrial
inşa ettik.
Zone, we have
Çetinkaya, Hekiman ve Malatya Gökbaşı
constructed the
demiryolunu
bridges, and
yeniledik.
Çetinhan Gökbaşı
Sivas
Railway
Malatya
has been
hızlı tren
refurbished.
projemizin
Sivas
ve
Malatya speed train
Elazığ hızlı
project,
tren
as well
projemizin
Malatya Elazığ
etüt
speed
çalışmaları
train
devam
project studies are
Malatya Havalimanı'na
ongoing
yaptığımız
currently.
yatırımlarla
We also made a lot of
modernize
investments for Malatya Airport, and we
havalimanımızın
have modernized
2003 yılında
that. In
89.000 olan yolcu
2003, there were about 89,000 inbound and outbound passengers, but last year this figure exceeded 740,000. You can see how much of mileage we have covered, and we will be holding the tender process of the new bus terminal station soon. And now we have about 653,000 fast internet users, even though we had none in the past. And the fiber optic cable lines now runs as long as 4,700 kilometers. We have built 10 dams in Malatya, and we will be constructing 10 other new dams for Malatya. With the irrigation projects, we have managed to irrigate an area of 475 acres, and we this way have ensured an additional agricultural income for our farmers. The total agricultural incentive amount allocated for our farmers now stands at a figure of 1.5 million liras. And Mr. Kemal, what does he say? You say he says we have
hesap uzmanıyım.
finish the farmers, but he has no idea about calculations. So some say that he is an expert in accounts, accounting and calculations, but you don't need to have any expertise, only to keep those numbers, book those numbers. Those numbers, figures are clear for everyone to see. We also are using the relevant authorities started procuring dried apricots, and in industry we have established one technopark, 4 RD centers and 1 design centers. The treatment facility to be constructed in the organized industrial zone will also do away the environmental pollution. When it comes to the diversity of products and the number of the exporting companies operating in Malatya, we will be constructing a modern fair exhibition area. We also will be providing more incentives for attraction points, and we extended the period for that. Meşilyurt, Battalgazi, Doğan, Şehirdarende, and Akşadağ are now supplied with natural gas, thanks be to God. And Kuluncak will also be supplied with natural gas now. So this is, if you will, the summary of the summary in terms of the services we have offered to our people of Malatya, and we will be bringing about more. My dear brothers and sisters, on our path to growth and development, the biggest source of power for us is the unity, the togetherness, and of course the fraternity of our great nation. And recently there have been attacks against our power, an increasing number of attacks we can observe, with the courage and also insight. Our nation has backtracked those plans of others. We always say we have a single nation, a single homeland, a single state, and a single flag. This is how we will be marching on our path. And hopefully we will be handing over all we have achieved to the next generation, a country that has achieved all its goals and objectives. And in this way we will be owning up to our cause, our country, our party, and our future. When it comes to the swamp of dissension and wrongdoings, we will see that those who are stuck in that swamp will only fail, and we will not love one another just for some other personal or individual interests, but we will love one another because of God. And the courage of Malatya, hard work of Malatya, and their sacrifices are known by all, and we will be increasing the number of the members of Malatya province in our organizational structure, and it will grow in folds, the number of our members. The higher the flag of AK Party is hoisted, and the deeper the love we have with our nation, the more confident we will be about the future of our country. As a party whose destiny is shared with the nation, we can only pay our debts to our people by way of working harder and working more and more. May God bless you all with all the efforts you have shown, all the sacrifices you have made. I would like to wish the best of success to all colleagues who will be taking roles in our Congress. We will work very hard and we will work tirelessly, and hopefully we will be emerging stronger than what we are today. I would like to share my love and respect with you all once again. Thank you very much. Stay in health.
Başkanı, Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'a konuşmaları için çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Sayın Cumhurbaşkanım günün anısına hediyelerini takdim etmek üzere Malatya İl Başkanımız Sayın İhsan Koca'yı sahneye davet ediyorum. Buyurunuz lütfen.
Dön bir bak şu tarihe, koskoca bir çığınarsın. Yine yeniden haydi başara.